Kraken just spent $600 million to become a stablecoin payment company. Solana's co-founder gave Alpenglow a timeline. Amazon put stablecoin payments inside its AI platform. And the White House just put a final date on the most important law in cryptosphere. My name is Sergey and I'm DevRel at GetBlock. This is Running Web3 Weekly. We talk about the tech that actually powers our industry. We have videos every Monday. Let's get started. Kraken just spent $600 million to become a stablecoin payment company. On May 7th, Kraken announced the acquisition of Rip Technologies, a Hong Kong-based B2B payments firm that runs corporate cards and cross-border payment infrastructure on stablecoin rails. This is Kraken's third major acquisition in a month. The value of the company just hit $20 billion of value, and it's 80% ready for IPO. This matters because Rip's product is corporate Visa cards, funded by stablecoins and cross-border API settlement. That's a quite direct move into Stripe's territory. When exchanges start buying companies which are basically B2B solutions, it means that we move from this era of crypto as speculation to crypto as enterprise infrastructure. If you're building any kind of B2B product on stablecoin rails, Kraken just validated your market with a $600 million check. And with that kind of product, you definitely need a reliable infrastructure provider. And we at GetBlock definitely are reliable and can provide it. Solana's co-founder just gave Alpenglow a timeline. We're talking about the third quarter of this year. At Consensus Miami on May 5th, Anatoly Yakovenko confirmed that Alpenglow, Solana's most significant protocol upgrade ever, is expected to ship as early as next quarter. Alpenglow replaces the current consensus mechanism entirely, cutting finality from 12.8 seconds to roughly 150 milliseconds, and moving validator voting off-chain to free up 75% of block space. This matters because Alpenglow is not just a performance tweak, it's Solana shifting from timing throughput to timing precision. And if we are talking about timing, it's also very notable. Solana's TVL is down 56% from its 2025 peak, and monthly active users hit a 2-year low. Alpenglow is a technical answer to those kind of problems. If you're building time-sensitive applications on Solana, the third quarter is the time to test Alpenglow. Someone just proposed reallocating Satoshi's Bitcoin, and the developer community is furious about it. Longtime Bitcoin developer proposed launching eCash, a new blockchain forked from Bitcoin, scheduled for block height 984,000 in August 2026. Every Bitcoin holder gets equivalent eCash tokens as an airdrop, but there is a catch. Satoshi's 1.1 million bitcoins equivalent of the new chain gets partially reallocated to early investors, and there is no full replay protection between those two chains. This matters because the developer's backlash is clarifying something important about Bitcoin's social contract. The replay protection gap means a valid transaction on one chain could accidentally execute on the other, but the deeper issue is Satoshi coins. The community treats them as untouchable, and any proposal that touches them gets treated as a violation of Bitcoin's fundamental rules, not just a technical upgrade. If you're running any infrastructure that sits on top of Bitcoin, August 2026 is a date to watch and prepare to coin splitting policy. The agent economy has a cloud provider right now. Amazon just put a stablecoin payments inside its AI platform. AI agents built on AWS can now autonomously discover services, pay for APIs, data feeds, and MCP servers in USDC, and complete any tasks without human. Settlement happens in roughly 200 milliseconds in USDC base. X402 has already processed more than 169 million payments. This matters because AWS now shows that X402 is not just a crypto experiment, it's a real infrastructure layer. If you provide any API or data services, probably you should try out new X402 protocol, because AWS just added 169 million agents to your possible buyer pool. The White House finally put a date on the most important crypto law in history. On May 6th at Consensus Miami, Patrick Will, White House advisor on digital assets, announced the administration is targeting July 4th for House passage of the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act. Senate Banking Committee markup in May, 4 working Senate weeks in June, House vote before Independence Day. Tweet framed the stakes directly. If we are not setting the standard, if we are not writing the rules, then we are going to be a rule follower. And God forbid it's China that's ultimately writing those rules. Clarity Act defines boundary for the digital assets, defines what DeFi protocols can actually operate on in the US, and sets the framework for the next decade of crypto development. If your product touches US users, you should definitely pay attention to this matter. Wall Street's clearinghouse just said it needs high-performance blockchain. And just for you to know, it processes $20 trillion per day. Frank LaSala said at Consensus Miami on May 6th that the firm is working with several high-performance L1 blockchains to move corporate actions, dividend payments, tender offers on-chain. More than 50 firms are in the working group: BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Circle, Anchorage. This matters because it's not a pilot, it is the core post-trade infrastructure of American markets, evaluating public-style blockchains for real financial workflows. The bottleneck on the most chains that is gonna process all things on days, not on seconds. And that is exactly why DTCC is shopping for the chains that can match their requirements. If you're building infrastructure on any L1 blockchains, this is your signal. DTCC and other traditional financial institutions need that kind of speed. And we are talking about seconds. North Korea doesn't just hack crypto anymore. It applies for jobs, and now the industry is fighting back. On May 5th, Ripple announced it is sharing its internal threat intelligence on North Korean actors with crypto ISAC, the crypto industry's threat sharing group. The data covers fraud domains, wallets, indicators of compromise from active DPRK campaigns, and enshrined profiles of suspected IT North Korean workers. This matters because the industry finally admits that those attacks, they are not just about code, they are about people, social engineering, because the hacks like Drift and Keo, they happened not because the code of smart contracts was broken, it happened because of people. If your team hires contractors, remote contributors, or open source collaborators, you should definitely look forward to probably collaborate with ISAC. More than half of web traffic right now is non-human. At Consensus Miami on May 5th, Cloudflare Chief Strategy Officer said that AI scrapers now visit sites at tens of thousands to one relative to the human visitors they send back. And on everyday basis, Cloudflare processes billion HTTP 402 responses. Sites telling bots they want to be paid, but having no mechanism to actually collect. This matters because the original's web's bargain is broken. Publishers made content freely accessible. Search engines indexed it and sent human traffic back, and Cloudflare sees X402 protocol as an answer to it. So the take here is following. X402 integration on Cloudflare is already on. If you're building AI agents that it requires to pay for services or any kind of stuff, you should definitely check out their documentation. Telegram just took direct control of Tone. A billion-user app is now finally running its own blockchain. On May 4th, Pavel Durov announced that Telegram will replace the Tone Foundation as the chain's main driving force and become its largest validator. In the same post, he confirmed that the transaction fees are almost zero. New developer tools, performance upgrades, all those things are expecting within 2 or 3 weeks. And this is the most significant change in Tone governments probably since 2020. Web3 open source commits collapsed 75%. Fewer developers, more product. Something changed. Artemis data shows weekly commits in crypto open source repositories dropped from a peak of 871,000 to 218,000. The number of active developers fell roughly by half, yet the number of deployed products have not declined proportionally. This matters because it likely means that AI is actually absorbing routine work that used to show up as human commits. This actually changes how you evaluate a project's momentum. So if your team is still measuring productivity with velocity, probably you should change your approach, because the question is no longer about commits, it's more about product shape. This was a week in Web3 without token prices and any kind of noise. We focus on products that actually powers our industry. My name is Sergey and I'm DevRel at GetBlock. See you in the next episode on Monday. And don't forget to give this video a like and check out our beautiful social media communities on X and any other platform. See you.